What's going on, guys? It's directed by Dave, and I'm here with another video where we're gonna break down an episode from a show that me and my business partners have called Highlight Reel. Highlight Reel is a show where we get to highlight real people and their stories. Within this particular episode, I'm doing one on my childhood friend that I grew up with, my bro. He been in and out of jail throughout his life, made some bad decisions, but ended up turning his life around. And we're telling the story from the beginning of his childhood up to the moment, pretty much where he almost lost his life, and where where I believe God had got his attention to help change to go onto a new path. Yeah, I'm really excited to break this story down to you guys, this treatment, how we shot it, and all the tools that we used. Let's get into it. First off, for all my directors out there, or just creators, when trying to tell a story, typically you want to use a treatment to be able to show kind of like your vision. Here we use Milanote, so shout out to Milanote. And what I got here, if you look at my screen, let's actually start with the interview. So I had went to Shot Deck and I had found some examples that, that can mimic what I was trying to shoot, right? So these are the examples. So I always wanted to shoot an interview with some type of wood walls. This was the examples here that I had provided to Drew, which Drew was the DP on this project. Here's an example of the wide shot. And then we got our close-up. We got another close-up with kind of like a handheld dolly feel is kind of what we were going for. I presented this to Drew. I was like, yo, where can we film this at? Who got wood walls and, without us spending money on like a location? And ironic enough, my mom actually has a house with wood walls in it. It's kind of like a cabin feel in there. So that was where we filmed it. The biggest thing from this treatment, guys, is when doing one, you want to have as much information put down as possible. You want it from your tone, to your lighting, to the type of music that you're going to use to help tell the story, and even sound effects. I wanted the lighting, if you can see right here. It says soft light on interviews with a teal and tungsten light. So again, I try to provide examples that has the look that I was going for to help tell the story. With it being a moody story, an intense story, something kind of dark, we want a moody look. The tone of this, with this particular episode, will be serious. We will have some uplifting moments to inspire people in their faith. So that's kind of like the tone. With the music, I wanted something dramatic, cinematic tone at times with an uplifting blend. There's times where we need something dramatic when he's in the heat of a moment of the story, or something uplifting if he's inspiring somebody with something that he had went through and he overcame. You want something that has more of an uplifting feel. So for the wardrobe, I wanted him to be kind of like what he would normally wear. Now we go into the fun stuff. This is the B-roll shots. Within Highlight Reel, we use the B-roll shots to help tell the story. This first column, we kind of got like a wide shot of him with the tank top, just looking at the camera, have the emotion of this strong look, or it could be scared. Just different emotions, right? Because again, throughout the story, he went through different ups and downs. So we just want to demonstrate that in the B-roll. This close-up shot, this is to show detail within his face. This one is more of a, angry look, you could say. Same thing with this third one down here. He has a lot of tattoos, so we wanted to showcase that. That's part of who he is. This whole entire column shows who he is as a person on top of what emotions that he was going through within the story. All right, so if we move along, we got the second column. Now again, the story was about him getting arrested multiple times, going through different trials, right? So with the second column, it shows him getting arrested. So this first one we got a steal from, it's actually a music video by August Alsina. Within that music video, it had cop lights flashing on him. Again, so we got a shot of police lights hitting on him. We used some LED tubes and kind of made it flash to help tell that story. We got a shot of the gun being pointed at him. This shot right here represented him about to pull the gun on the guy that tried to kill him. So we wanted to make this look big. We did a low angle, which kind of typically makes your subject seem bigger. And just again, get different variations of it, whether it's with the gun in the car, and so on. And then of course right here, we got B-roll of the car, just showing shots of the car that they were driving, or the van in his case. When we was on production, we didn't really get a lot of those shots due to the time. We were kind of rushing a little bit on that day. So the next part of this video, we're actually gonna play the actual episode, and I can show you more in detail, step by step, on kind of how we filmed it by actually showing you the example. All right, so here goes the intro to the actual episode.
911, what's your emergency?
Hey, please help. I heard gunshots. I think someone's been shot.
My name's Julian Mahadio, and as they say, I'm a convicted felon. I'm from Zone 6, Eastside, County Road, Stone Mountain, all that.
All right, well, first off, that intro was hard. That intro was very hard. I'm really proud of that. Right here, we got the cop car. This is actually stock footage right here with these two shots, as well as this. We added a whole bunch of sound effects to kind of help make you feel like, okay, man, this chaos going out here, someone got shot. And it's kind of bringing the audience into that mindset that's gonna, again, help tell the story, right? Right here, I did this from a director standpoint, put this scripture here, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And that's from Isaiah 54:17. The reason why I did that, again, if you watch this episode of Highlight Reel, you will see that right before he went to go sell those drugs, he was reading his Bible. And he just kind of like found it in the back of the car, and it went to that scripture. That was a key moment for him, because before all that happened, it was told to him that no weapon will form against him. So I feel like that was a very important part of the story, and I decided to tell that very early on, so when you get to it, it will all make sense. So let's get into this interview shots. So if you guys remember from the treatment, I'm about to go back and forth. If you see the interview shots, I got the wide shot like this. Now, of course, we don't have 3 different people in frame, but again, it was just about the framing, right? And the look for the story. So if I were to show mines, we got the tungsten lighting, we put a lamp right here. So that was to motivate the lighting on him. We had a tube, like 2 tubes in this area just out of the frame. And then if you look on this side of the frame with the color grade, you can see that there's the teal look. And that's where we kind of get that blend from the tungsten to the teal. And that's my wide shot. I have him in the center frame. This light is motivating him, and it's giving that moody look. Again, because of his story, it's kind of an intense story, so we wanted that moody look. If we were to fast forward, this is our medium close-up. If we look back to the treatment, that's this shot right here. It's kind of similar. Same thing, same motivated lighting from this lamp. We had the tubes to kind of help give a little more brightness. And then again, the teal stuff is more back here. You can kind of see it in his tattoos and so on. So that's the main 2 shots right there. And then we got our third angle right here. So this is more of the closer look that we had on our treatment, like this right here. Even though these 2 shots right here is kind of similar, if you pay attention, this one feels a little more closer. And when we look at our video, this one is more closer than that second medium close-up, and this is the one where we could pay attention more into the details. Kind of like if we want to see more emotion out of him, this is where we will cut to. Those are our 3 angles. Now let's get into the B-roll. So here goes a B-roll shot. For the B-roll, I wanted to feel like film, like true film, right? I wanted it to feel like a little dirty here and there. So here goes the shot where we're getting details on him. If you guys remember on that first column of B-roll, this is all the facial expression from various different emotions, and we exemplified it on one of the shots here. We wanted to feel like film again. Another one here, I'll play this one for you. Again, we leaned in on that film look on top of adding a little bit of the sound effects of film. That's where you heard that little clip type of noise. And we use film transition, as you can see, film burn effect, if you will. We also had this third shot on a dolly with the Ronin, the RS4. The DP Drew, he didn't really like the setup too much with it because the Ronin wasn't really working well with the dolly, because he had to pull focus on top of operating the dolly. The lenses were manual. Forgot the lenses that we used. I think they were like the Leica R's, I think. Yeah, the setup wasn't the best for him. So when he was operating, he's pushing in with the dolly, and then he's kind of like got to pull focus as well. So it kind of made the shot a little harder than what it needed to be. Yeah, I keep playing it.
It was my first time getting locked up. And as crazy as it sounds, it's like, I just knew, like, I just realized what a father was.
And as you can see, we kept dealing with the focus issues, as you can see. And like, if you pay attention to the music, I really love it because like as he's telling the story about certain things, you could kind of hear the music crescendo to the high moments and then come back down for the low. It's taking him on a journey, essentially. So as he's telling the story, the music, the sound effects, and him is all help leading the audience into the story a little deeper. Like I had mentioned on the treatment, the main crime that happened in a van. When we got into that part of the story, I did the interview in the actual vehicle that was in the crime. So with that, from a directing standpoint, from a storytelling standpoint, I really wanted the audience to really be in that moment, not only visually see it, but they could feel it, right? As he's explaining the story. So if we look over here,
some pages highlighted, some pages more highlighted than the others. Just stopped it.
First shot is pretty much, we put the camera in the back of the van and we had him positioned to where his face was in that rear view mirror for just a cool shot. And then the wide shot where you could see the whole van. So now the audience can actually see and feel where the actual crime took place. And like how I mentioned before about sound effects and the transitions, when the transition from the van back into the house, I thought this was really cool.
And it jumped up on me. I clicked it again. It ain't did nothing. I'm just saying pull out, man. Telling my partner pull out. Courtney ended up being like,
I thought that was fire. I'm sorry. I thought that was fire. Pretty much, again, I wanted the audience, like, for me as a director, I'm always trying to engage with the audience or draw them in just to, you know, give them something, not just something cool to look at, but let them feel like they're in the story, right? And with that, with the gun being pointed at the camera, him saying, "Yeah, man, I'm about to shoot buddy," and then, you know, with his bullet being jammed, and then now with the last shot where we're looking down the barrel, we're literally in his shoes, how he was looking down the barrel. Not only him, but the other guy that he was getting ready to shoot. So now we switch from my bro's perspective to the other guy's perspective. So now it's building that intensity for the audience, and then it just cuts off and then you just hear the gun cock back. I just really like that transition piece. I felt like it helped draw the audience in, and then it put them right back to where we want them. And that's just the art of storytelling, right? You just want to captivate your audience, you know what I mean? But yeah, guys, so throughout the interview, again, I really just followed the treatment. The biggest thing, guys, is when doing treatments is you want to lay out as much information as possible, and of course, show it, right? Find examples that you're trying to piece together to help tell your story. Yeah, man, like, it was a pretty dope shoot, man. You know, I got to tell a story on my bro that somebody who I grew up with, you know, I got to see his story firsthand, and just to be able to tell it, it was fun. We had a good time. We shot at my mom's house. I did not have to pay for a location, so that was great. And if you would like to see this full episode of Highlight Reel, I will put the link in the description. So if you found this video helpful and you want to go ahead and create more stories, please like, comment, and share. And also, if there's any type of topics that you would like me to talk about, please leave them in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.